season and Paul's diary is full until a major job is postponed with just 15 minutes notice. Materials are already bought, leaving him £900 out of pocket. In between plugging the gaps, he moves into a larger lockup, with Henry helping out. In the heat of summer, Paul arrives in Harrogate to clean a resin driveway, followed by a remedial job blighted by weeds and rain. He saves the week by pulling forward a well-paid decking job, but a high-pressure blowout puts that at risk too.
Well, I'm booked in today to do the cleaning part of a driveway restoration job prior to going back there on Friday to apply the tarmac restore of the black polymer coating. Just sent a message to the customer saying I'm on my way, and I've had a panicked phone call from them. They've got the dates mixed up. There's a cherry picker on the drive and the outside of the house is being painted. So that's a bit of a cock-up, which leaves me with a bit of a problem. What am I going to fill today with, and what am I going to fill Friday with? I don't know at the moment. In the meantime, I've got a quote to do over near Pudsey, so I'll drive up there now, have a look at that, and then make a plan.
The customer that had to postpone sent me a lovely message. She's really upset about what happened, very apologetic. I've asked them if, as a goodwill thing, they'll prepay for the tarmac restorer that I've bought in, just because I don't know exactly when I'll get back there, and in the meantime, I've got about £900 laid out in product for them.
Paul had hoped to salvage the day, but he hasn't been able to book an afternoon job. But there's always something that needs doing, so he turns his attention to jobs at the new lockup.
So one thing I've learned from the container next door is to keep all your big equipment next to the door. And another thing is to have all your related equipment close together. All my decking gear here, for example, just saves loading up the van and forgetting to put something important on board. Henry, my next door neighbour, helping out.
Henry did work experience with Paul last summer. He's a bright lad and is turning out to be a good worker.
Things are slowly taking shape here. Got some racking in, scaffold tower, bit more racking, lots more trolleys and containers. Still a bit of racking, workbench, some odd bits and pieces to get moved in next door. Henry's going to fit some air vents to the container doors. I did this with the old container. It makes a huge difference to the ventilation. In the summer, without the vents, it's baking hot like an oven. In the winter, you get a lot of trapped moisture and a lot of condensation. This just totally evens it out. You want one low and then one high.
This is Henry's first time using a grinder, and it's unclear at this stage how many fingers he'll still have at the end of the day.
Yeah, let's have a look. It's a bit wobbly, but not bad for a first attempt.
Yeah,
Could have gone long.
Harrogate tomorrow, a driveway and a remedial job.
They've had landscapers in putting down this Indian sandstone paving. They made a bit of a mess though, so the resin driveway here has got a lot of sand. I think they might have had a skip on here. As for the block paving, yeah, this needs a good sorting out. Quite a lot of moss and quite a few weeds. So a quick job, have this done in a couple of hours, and then it's off to deal with another task in Harrogate, and I'll circle back round to get this resanded afterwards. And the heatwave continues. It's only about 9:30. It's already really hot.
This driveway is in a smart Harrogate neighbourhood not far from the Stray. It's part resin-bound and part block paving, and despite Paul's first impressions, it's dirtier than it looks and will take longer than he expected. It's high summer and incredibly warm.
I think that's going in my wellies.
When cleaning resin-bound driveways with a rotary flat surface cleaner, it's normal to end up with tram lines. This is caused by dirt being cleaned off and then deposited at the edges. To even it out, it's necessary to work in a donut pattern or make a figure of 8. It also helps to do frequent rinse downs. After pressure washing the driveway, Paul applies a chemical treatment to deep clean the resin. This will kill off moss and biofilm, whilst also lightening and brightening the area. And if there are any tram lines remaining, he goes over the area again with his flat surface cleaner.
Well, that's looking a lot better. Just needs resanding now. Hopefully I'll get that done later today, but there is a thunderstorm forecast, so fingers crossed. So heading over to Bilton now to deal with this remedial job. So what does that mean, remedial? Well, really it means it's a cock-up. I got a phone call last week from the lady, pensioner. She said, Paul, can you come and clean the driveway again? I said, are you sure? It's only 6 months since I was there. She says, well, there's a lot of weeds. I thought, I'll pop up and have a look. That doesn't sound right. And anyway, when I got there, there's loads of weeds. It's covered in weeds. And I'm looking around, and it just dawned on me that I hadn't been back to resand it. I was so busy last year, rushed off my feet, and it had completely slipped my mind. So anyway, I put weed killer down, and I left it 2 or 3 weeks. Going to go back there today. Hopefully it won't need cleaning, it'll just need sanding, just depending on the state of the weeds really. So yeah, one thing's for sure, sanding is no guarantee against weeds, but if you don't sand, you'll end up with a forest of them. Well, here we are. All the weeds have died off, but it's a bit of a mess. I'm going to have to give this a quick blast with the turbo nozzle. And there's more down here. What a mess. I'll give it a sweep first, get rid of the dead weeds, and we'll see where we go from there. Look at that, no sand. What a bloody idiot. Well, that's lifted all of those dead weeds. As can be seen from the driveway section here, it's drying out in no time at all. Back to the other job, get that sanded up, and then if the weather holds, I'll come back and finish this one off later today.
When Paul got back to the house, he found the children were busy earning some pocket money by washing the car. Fortunately, they hadn't made the block paving wet, which was a good job. However, because of their young age, he decided not to film the sanding.
All sanded and finished. Well, I'm back at Stephanie's place and it started raining. Don't know whether I'll be able to do this. I'm going to sit in the van for 10 minutes. If it doesn't stop, then the job's a non-starter. It's not looking good.
For once, the weather forecast was right, but the thunderstorm didn't amount to much and it quickly passed over. The next morning, Paul was up early and playing catch-up.
Well, just getting into Harrogate, and I'm going to call at Stephanie's place to get her driveway sanded. Friday morning, I was meant to be back at the tarmac job today, applying the coating. Of course, that job has been postponed. I've had a phone around and I've managed to bring forward a decking job. That'll keep me busy this morning. And here we are. It's in a bit of a mess, to be honest. It's all covered with a thick layer of decking stain, which is peeling off in places. Quite a lot of algae, which will be incredibly slippery and dangerous when wet. Lots more in this shady corner over here. And back down in this area, there's clearly a need for some repairs. Quite extensive actually, because it appears that one of the joists is rotten. This job therefore is going to span multiple days, starting with removing the old decking stain, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to start with a light wash to remove the surface grime, and then I'm going to apply a chemical stripper to soften up the decking stain so that I can pressure wash it away. If the decking stain is oil or solvent based, it should come off really easily. If it's one of those water based products, that can be a bit trickier. Back down at this end of the deck, I'm going to need to do some fairly major repairs. The boards are really quite springy, and at closer inspection we can see that some of the joists are rotten. It's difficult to see the full extent of that at the moment, but I'm going to have to lift and remove all of these decking boards to get access and take a closer look. The dog next door's just realised I'm here. Now the homeowner's had quotes to get this replaced with both timber decking and also with composite, and the quotes ran well into 5 figures. I'm going to do a full restoration job on this. It'll end up looking better than when it was first laid, and she's going to save a fortune. Right, I'm going to get on with the cleaning. If I'm lucky, the pressure washer will lift some of the decking stain as well. That's a good thing, because it'll mean that there's less work for the stripper to do. In this area at least, it's hardly lifting any of the stain. Now time for the stripper. The feeling at this stage is that this is going to be quite tricky to get off, so I'm going to be fairly aggressive with the pressure washer. I'm not concerned about the timber furring, because in any case I am going to be sanding it before applying the oil.
He's about to tackle the decking stain, but Paul quickly realises there is a problem with his pressure washing machine. Quite simply, he doesn't have any pressure.
And this is the reason why! The hose that goes up to the reel has ruptured. I've got an idea for a workaround. Just disconnect the hose from the reel and plug it directly in. We're back in business. Better. Safety glasses. I should just add, you know the stripper is working when the decking gets slippery. And my safety glasses are on my head.
The chemical stripper is very effective and quickly melts through the old decking stain. It's a trick of the trade and it's not known by many.
As we can see, the stripper's worked really quite well. There's 1 or 2 stubborn areas, so I might need to put a second application there. Before stripping all of that off though, I'm going to apply the chemical stripper over at this end of the deck so it can be getting on with its dwell time. Just compare this for the before and after. Still got some stubborn spots though, hopefully they'll come out with a second application. Got a trampolining dog here. Right, managed to get all of the decking stain off, every last little bit, although it was pretty tough in places and it did take 2 applications of the stripper. Overall though, a really brilliant result. 2 more things to do. A feature of the stripper is that it darkens the wood. That's all to do with the tannins being drawn to the surface, and we need to reverse that now. We do that with an acidic neutralizer, which I'll just spray on, and it'll lighten and brighten all of the wood really quite quickly as well. You can see it happening in front of your eyes. And the other thing as well is that we've got some green staining, and this is caused by algae that's alive and resident in the wood. I'll finish off by putting some biocide. That definitely will kill anything, and we'll see that green staining fade and disappear within 2 or 3 days.
With the decking stain removed and the algae killed off, Paul will return next week to undertake the repairs and prepare the timber for oiling.